two of you decided to play house together. Then you had a baby.
A father abandons his own family.
You decided that this family life was not for you.
Yes.
How much money do you contribute towards your daughter? It's not an answer. January.
Nothing.
February.
Nothing.
March.
Nothing.
Who did you think was going to support your baby?
Judge Judy.
You have a commitment. Your baby eats before you do. Do we understand each other, sir?
Unpaid rent. Autumn also says Brian punched a hole into the wall of their apartment.
Yeah, this is case number 63 on the calendar in the matter of Platts versus Nice. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
How old are you, Miss Platts?
20 years old.
And you, sir?
21.
Well, the two of you decided to play house together. You moved in, you had a couple of dollars, you put $1,500 towards a used car that was purchased, then you had a baby, and then you decided that this family life was not for you right now, so you left. And what you want is you want your $1,500 back that you put down on the car because he took the car with him.
Yes.
You want him to pay some more money for rent because he left, leaving you with a lease.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you say that he caused some damage to the apartment?
Yes, Brian
Caused some damage to the apartment. He says, well, there's plenty of security deposit to take care of that. He says that the car is his, it's in his name, it's titled in his name, it's registered in his name, it's his car, he had every right to take it. Doesn't deny that you put in the $1,500, right?
Correct.
He said that was a gift. And as
Your
far
Honor,
as the
that
rent,
was not a gift.
And as far as the rent is concerned, he said he was a really nice guy because he paid November and December's rent.
Correct.
Even though he only lived there part of November, and the rest you have to take care of. Right? Good.
No,
okay.
Your Honor.
How old is the baby?
10 months.
Who do you live with now?
The baby and I live together in our apartment.
In the same apartment?
Yes.
Are you working?
Currently, no.
Who's paying the rent on the apartment?
I've been using the baby's Christmas money, Catholic Charities help me, and my tax return money I've been using, and my parents have been helping me out.
How far do you live from your parents?
Maybe 3 miles.
And you don't want to go home?
No. It's my responsibility, my daughter. It is not my parents to take care of my daughter and I.
Well, but you said that they've been helping you. My question is, is there a reason that you wouldn't go home with your daughter?
No. Just that I'm independent with my daughter. This is our home.
Well, you're not independent. Miss Platts, let me explain something to you, darling, sweetheart, little girl. You're not independent if Catholic Charities are supporting you, your parents are supporting you, you're using the baby's money, which was not intended to use for your rent. That doesn't make you independent. That makes you dependent on a whole bunch of people. Independence means that you're able to take care of yourself. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
There's a difference between being independent and just because you're living in an apartment not with your family, and being independent because you're taking care of yourself and your responsibilities.
Well, I was working prior to Brian.
I was.
And
I used to be a natural blonde. Do you understand? That's used to be. I was never a natural blonde. Get me riled. What are you doing with yourself?
I work full-time.
And how much money do you contribute towards your daughter? It's not an answer.
I pay child support. They take
how much?
$120 a week.
I have not received money.
And I
don't just think that you can pop in here and speak. You cannot. When I look in your direction or ask you a question, you can speak. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Good. When did you start to pay $120 a week?
It went into effect about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And you left in November?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say 6 months. How much did you give her for 6 months?
I don't know offhand. Money here and
no,
here
just
and
a
there.
second. Offhand? I'm going to give you a second to think.
Okay.
When you moved out in November, how much money did you give her?
I paid the rent for November.
Good. Anything else?
No.
December?
I paid the rent also in December.
Anything else?
No.
January?
Nothing.
Nothing. February?
Nothing.
March?
Nothing.
April?
Nothing.
Were you working?
Yes, ma'am.
Why weren't you giving her money?
Because I didn't feel that I should have to pay her rent any longer.
I'm not talking about paying her rent. I'm talking about giving her money to support your daughter.
I give her money here and there.
Here and there is what?
When I have extra money to give.
No. Is your last name Nice?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mr. Nice, what kind of work do you do?
I work for a Chevy dealership,
How many hours a week do you work?
about 45 to 50.
How would you feel if your employer said, I think we're going to pay you once in a while?
I wouldn't appreciate it.
Right. Why is that, sir? Because it's their responsibility to pay you for the hours that you worked. Is that right?
Absolutely.
That's a commitment that
Yep.
they made. You work, they pay, right?
Yes.
When you make a baby, you have a commitment, the same sort of responsibility. Not when you have extra money. Your baby eats before you do. We understand each other, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you left Miss Platt's, she wasn't working. Is that right?
That's right.
And she was staying home and taking care of the baby.
Right.
Put your hand down. I'm not speaking to you. So when you left, you knew that unless you gave her support, she was going to have to find some other way of getting money, because daycare is expensive. So either she was going to stay home with the baby or put the baby in daycare and get a job, probably be a wash, right? So who did you think was going to support your baby?
Her.
How?
Find a job.
And who was going to take care of the baby?
A friend, babysitter.
And who was going to pay the friend or babysitter?
If she works, her.
And what about you?
Me too. I could
But you didn't?
I would help if she had a babysitter. I would help pay for it.
Did you tell her that?
Probably not.
Huh?
Have a good time. This one here.
Mr. Nice, did you use $1,500 of her money towards the purchase of this used car?
Yes, I did.
And how much was the car?
$2,500.
Where did you get the other $1,000 from?
I came up with it. My money.
What do you mean you came up with it?
I had money, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had a temper flare-up, is that right?
Yes.
Don't go back looking for your security deposit, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because you've spent it.
And later today,
Is there a rest of that outfit that you're wearing? You wouldn't go to church in that outfit, would you?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Autumn Platt says the father of her child, Brian Nice, owes for a car, his share of rent, and damage to their apartment. Autumn says Brian walked out on her and their baby.
Now, when you left, you took the car.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you purchase the car?
Last April.
So you had the car for less than a year when you left,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And this car was to be used for the two of you as a family. Is that right?
Correct.
That's why she gave you more money than you put in for the car, right?
Yes.
So what makes you think that you're entitled to that car?
It's titled, registered, insured. She doesn't even have a license to drive a car.
That doesn't answer the question, sir. Same situation existed when she gave you the $1,500.
Correct.
The expectation was that the car was going to be used as a family for you, for her, for the baby, right?
Right.
Okay, when was the baby born?
July.
And the car was purchased in April?
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell me about the damage to the house. First, who put down the security deposit?
Brian and I both put in $250 each for the security deposit.
What is the estimate of the damage to the apartment?
$217.50.
Well, then his half of the security deposit is going to cover the damage.
The holes are fixed now, and the bill is due. And I don't get the security deposit back until I move out of this apartment.
Get a job.
I start a job next week.
Perfect. He's not getting back his security deposit of $250. It's less than $250 to fix the holes that he put in the wall because he was angry. He had a temper flare-up, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, don't go back looking for your security deposit, sir. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because you've spent it. Now let's get to the rent. Do you intend to stay in this apartment?
Yes, I do.
And it is possible to break the lease on this apartment because you're not responsible for the apartment because you were underage when you moved into the apartment. I mean, you couldn't sign a contract. You have to be 21 to sign a contract?
No, I have a lease that Brian and I both signed.
How old were you when you signed it?
Oh, I was 19.
Did you speak to the landlord with regard to breaking the lease?
Yes, and we would still have to pay the rent.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
No, that's not true. What do you mean? Oh, I asked you if you spoke to the landlord. Did the landlord tell you that for
He
so
said
much
he would
money
take
you
us
could?
to court.
No, he wouldn't. Did you try to sublet the apartment?
It says in the lease that no one else can move into there.
No, it says that you cannot sublet it without written consent of the owner. That's what it says. But you choose to stay there.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, if you choose to stay there and he paid November and December's rent, then you have to cover the rest.
I have the bills that I have paid from January till May.
Good.
The rent.
Good.
But
That's what you have
I
to
had
do.
put in money, too, for November and December's rent also.
That's okay. You were living there.
Yes.
So?
But I feel he should have to pay me half the rent for them
No, he
months
doesn't.
because his name is on the lease.
No, he doesn't. Madam, if you decide, Miss Platts, to stay in the apartment, and you have the ability to either sublet the apartment or for a fee terminate the lease, and you chose to stay in the apartment with your daughter so that you can be independent, then you pay the rent, not him. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Perfect. But you are entitled to your $1,500 back, because the $1,500 was not a gift over here to Prince Charming. The $1,500 was made with the expectation that both of you would be enjoying the car. Do I make myself clear, sir?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He has supervised visitations on Saturdays 12 to 2 for 2 months now, over 2 months, and he's shown up for 1.
I work Saturdays. It's hard to get the day off.
I want him drug tested because he does drugs.
I have to pass a drug test, which should not be a problem.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nagel versus Goulet, step forward, please.
20-year-old salesperson Michael Nagel is suing his ex-roommate, 18-year-old model Jessica Goulet, for unpaid rent and bills. Jessica is countersuing, claiming Michael sold her stereo and pet bird.
The defendant was a roommate of yours, and it is your claim that she moved out owing you for some rent and bills.
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Goulet says that she owes you nothing. As a matter of fact, she says that you have retained her property and sold some of her property, according to her, and that you actually owe her money.
Yes.
Is there a rest of that outfit that you're wearing? When you go to a court, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to cover your belly button. Do you understand?
I do understand that.
Good. But?
I was just going to say that I only have a very limited amount of clothing because all of my other property is at his place.
Well, would you like to borrow her shirt? That would have been more appropriate. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have to know where you're going. You wouldn't go to church in that outfit, would you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you know enough to do that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. Now, when did she become your roommate and under what circumstances?
October 28th, 2003, Your Honor. The circumstances were, I've known her brother for close to 9 years now. We moved in together. However, his job made him move. So under his advice, I took in his sister and her boyfriend as my new roommates, because without that, I would have to cover the rent and bills all by myself.
Okay. They were each going to pay how much? A third of the rent each?
They each were going to pay $225 a month for rent, Your Honor.
And how much was your rent?
$525, Your Honor.
And they did move in on the 28th of October?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened in November? Did they pay rent?
Yes.
December?
Yes.
January?
No.
What happened in January?
Her check bounced, Your Honor, and I had to cover that, and I've only been reimbursed $150 from that check.
Why did your check bounce in January?
My parents had just moved, and I was taking care of everything on my own. I had just gotten a car and things like that, and I thought I had the money. If I wrote the check, I would be able to put it in the bank and it would clear, but it just...
So she owed you $75 from January?
$113 from January, Your Honor.
Why?
Due to the fact that there was a late fee on this.
I got you. Okay, so that's January. And what happened in February?
I had come back from Nashville, Tennessee on February 3rd, and I had asked her about rent because it was due. I had talked to the landlord, and he had given me an extension to turn it in on the 3rd. So I asked her about rent, and she flatly said, you know, I don't have it. So Is
that right?
Yeah, I told him that I didn't have it, that I would get it to him as soon as I could.
And she didn't, Your Honor.
When did you move out?
I actually moved out. He had kicked my boyfriend out, say January 16th, around that time, and there was a big discussion about that.
Why did you put her boyfriend out?
Because he didn't pay bills, Your Honor.
I didn't agree with it because he wasn't going to give him any time. My boyfriend agreed to give him $600 on that Monday, but he told him no.
Why didn't he pay him when he was supposed to?
Because he wasn't going to get the money until that Monday. He couldn't get the money till then.
Your Honor.
Because of his work.
Just a second. So the two of you expected him to cover your bills until you could get your acts together.
He told us that he had an extension on all of that and it was okay. When my boyfriend offered to give him the $600, he said that if he gave him the $600 that he could stay there, no problem. And then he called my brother, and my brother told him no, that just kick him out now, don't even take the money. So he just packed up his stuff.
What was the $600 for?
The electricity bill, the phone bill, and the cable bill. He had ran up a large amount on my cable bill by ordering adult entertainment on there, as well as movies. And I have proof of that in my records, Your Honor.
I believe you. Listen, if they had paid their bills, I assume you wouldn't have minded if they stayed.
Right.
Right? Okay, so she owes you for February's rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
You didn't pay February's rent, did you?
I moved out before February 1st.
No, she didn't, Your Honor.
No, you just told me you were there.
I actually was staying there, but during the day I was with my boyfriend. And when I came back to get clothes and stuff like that, because I was staying the night with him, he was like, your check bounced, I need the rent, and you have to get out. You either pay me or you get out. So I told him that I would leave, that I would try to go get the money. When I came back, he said, you can only take your clothing, because I didn't want to stay there anymore, because when he gets pissed off,
You see, Your Honor, I gave her a chance to get her clothing, and she refused.
I refused to get my clothes.
Yeah,
That's all I have is my clothes. You have everything else. You have everything else of my belongings.
Miss Goulet, first fix your shirt. Very good. Don't fight with each other. You want to fight with each other, you go outside. You don't come inside.
Sorry.
Okay, $338, $113 for January that's still due and owing, $225 for February because you lived there most of the month. If you left to follow your boyfriend, that's your problem. Grow up! You got to grow up! Now, let's talk about her property. You still have her property?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about her bird? She says that you sold her bird.
She left it there, Your Honor. That was her brother. Her brother decided to sell it, not me.
Step up. Tell me your name.
My name's James.
Did you come into possession of her bird?
Yes.
When?
After she left, I had started staying there to help Mike out with his bills and stuff like that, and I sold her bird as well as her stereo. And then she's also countersing.
Why did you do that?
Just, you know, come up with some extra money to help him out.
And also, Your Honor, she had been gone for over a month by that time. She had not called or come by to get her stuff. Therefore, I had no room and nowhere to keep the stuff.
You don't have to take care of a bird. Well, you want the money for your bird back?
The money for my bird was $500, bird and cage, and plus my stereo was $150.
Your brother sold it.
I know,
You're
but
suing the wrong person. Now, as far as your clothes and other property is concerned, you still have them?
Yeah, she can.
When could she pick them up?
She can pick it up right after court, Your Honor.
Terrific.
Okay. Now, also, Your Honor, we had a lease agreement when her and her boyfriend moved in that if they did violate the lease, they would be responsible to pay their half of the rent until March.
Where? Show me. They signed it?
Yes, Your Honor, and it's dated also.
Are you still living there?
I actually moved in.
Larry, you and the defendant were engaged to be married and lived together.
That's correct.
Unfortunately, you were incarcerated for a period of time in drug-related charge and then went into rehab. And it is your claim that during that period of time, Miss Martell cleaned you out, took your property, took your money, broke up, and she won't return a very expensive engagement ring as well. Miss Martell said all of that money was used to pay your bills, to pay for things for you while you were incarcerated, and she had to sell the engagement ring in order to pay those bills. Right?
Right.
Okay. When did you become engaged?
Your Honor, that was approximately 4/20. I'd purchased the ring. Here's a picture and a receipt. It was shortly after that we became engaged. And,
April 20th?
Yes, somewhere around that time.
Of what year?
02.
When was the wedding supposed to take place?
There was no date set.
What were you waiting for?
I don't know. For us both to agree on a certain date and, you know.
Okay. So you became engaged in April of 2002 and you were living together?
Yes.
When were you incarcerated?
It wasn't a drug. I'd like to correct that, Your Honor. That wasn't a drug-related charge. It was a felony charge. It was an impersonation charge is what that was. It wasn't drug. I agreed to go into a drug court system.
Explain that to me, sir. You were convicted of what?
Criminal impersonation of a police officer. It was a felony charge which, at that time, I was volunteered in a drug court in Rochester, New York.
Well, what did criminal impersonation have to do with drugs, sir? Why would you be placed in a drug court? I'll get to you in a second.
I was in...
If you can't give me the answer, because I'm going to get to the answer. If you can't give me the answer, I'll allow you to help me.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Before I had that charge, Your Honor, I was in a voluntary drug outpatient program.
Okay.
And during that time when the judge seen that, at that time I picked up the charge, she says, well, if you continue to stay sober and clean and continue your drug treatment program, we will dismiss the charge. And I failed to stay clean. So he incarcerated me and asked me if I wanted to do the time or do I want to help myself and change.
Mr. Borzelli, is what you're telling me, sir, that you pled guilty to criminal impersonation as a felony? The judge allowed you to remain at liberty as long as you were in a drug rehab program and remain drug-free. Is that what you're telling me?
No, there was no plea. My choice was...
Can I see those papers, please?
This was my whereabouts. The judge says, if you stay clean, we'll drop the charge.
Now I'll hear you, because this doesn't sound all right to me.
Exactly. We were friends. This is before we started dating. He was caught downtown in a well-known drug hotel impersonating a police officer. They forced him to go into drug court. It wasn't voluntary for him.
And then I assume that as part of this agreement that you had with the judge, you tested positive for drugs at some point?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you went into jail. And you went into jail, according to this, on the 12th of January 2004 to the 20th of February 2004.
Correct.
So for a little more than 6 weeks.
Correct.
Okay. And is it during that time that you claim that Miss Martell cleaned you out?
Oh, yes.
Okay. During that 6-week period?
No, not entirely.
Well, when?
Well, cleaning out, I don't know where the cleaning out comes from, but I have a telephone bill. When she moved in, Your Honor, she was 6 months behind in her mortgage. She says, I want to get away from my ex-husband.
When are you talking about? What year?
02, when she moved in.
I'm not interested in 02. Pay careful attention to me.
What are you interested in?
1/12/04 until 2/20/04.
Okay.
Period.
Here's a bill. She agreed to pay my phone bill, never did.
Mr. Borzelli?
Yes.
Get to it, sir.
Get to it?
Yes. I'm not interested in the phone bill.
Cable bill she didn't pay. Here's the pictures I have from my house.
I'm not interested in whether she didn't pay bills for 6 weeks, sir.
Okay, so what are you interested in?
Well,
I have a bill here, Your Honor.
It was my
home that I paid somebody.
Speaking, sir.
Go ahead.
You're asking me, and I'm telling you. It was my impression, sir, that what you were suing her for were two things: personal property and reimbursement of money taken without authorization is what you're suing for, plus the return or value of the engagement ring.
Okay, thank you. Right here, Your Honor, is a receipt from a $2,180 check. Mr. Grimes here, my witness, has cashed it, gave her $2,180. She only paid a mortgage payment of $960, and that's all. I have missing money.
So is what you're telling me that she cashed a check for $2,000 and that was your money?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And that she didn't pay sufficient amount of bills to cover that $2,100?
Yes.
Okay. She paid $900 in a mortgage. She did pay that for that period of time.
Almost $1,000.
Here's the receipt, ma'am. It's
How much is the mortgage?
It was almost $1,000.
Excuse me. I have a receipt.
Just tell me how much it was.
$979.
Okay, so that's close to $1,000. So that's $979 out of $979 out of the $2,100 that she cashed. Okay, what else did you pay for out of that money?
$600 of Rochester Gas and Electric.
Your Honor, I have a receipt here for $1,000. She didn't pay squat. Or nothing, I should say.
Mr. Borzelli, put down your paper, sir. Okay. Where's the other
$200 from, this is what I wanted to say before, in December of 2002, he was incarcerated for a positive drug test. He went to jail for a week. I had $200 for that week of collect calls. When he went to jail the next time.
I'm not interested in 2002. What else?
Commissary money I brought to the jail.
How much?
I believe $80.
Okay, little bits of money. Let's talk about the engagement ring. Gave you an engagement ring. Clearly, it is an engagement ring. It's a solitaire. Where is it?
I sold it.
Did you?
Yes.
When? Look at me.
February.
Don't look in the air.
February of this year.
Show me. Show me.
I don't have a
receipt. You sell a $14,000 ring. You have a receipt. You have something.
I sold it to a family jeweler.
I don't believe you. You're lying to me. Because if you sold it to a family jeweler and you knew you were coming to court, you would have said to the jeweler, can I have a receipt for the ring that I sold?
I could have, yes.
Well, where did you think you were coming today? To a tea dance?
No.
You were coming to court.
Right.
Court takes evidence. You're full of baloney.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What? She was responsible enough to sell it to her family jeweler.
I don't believe her, and I don't believe you.
And later today,
John grabbed his dog, Buddha, kind of just pulled him back a little bit and then pushed him off. As soon as he pushed him off, he ran directly to Emily. The very next thing I know, she's screaming.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Borzelli says ex-fiancée Stephanie Martell owes for the return of money and an engagement ring. Stephanie claims she sold the ring to pay bills while Robert was locked up.
Okay, it wasn't your ring. Now, even if you sold it, you had no right to sell it. It was your ring only if the contract to get married to Mr. Borzelli was consummated. It was not. The ring is given as a gift in contemplation of a marriage. Your argument is that you had to sell the ring to pay off bills. What bills did you have to pay off? What?
To maintain,
bill?
he asked me to stay in his house and to maintain his house.
6 weeks. What bills did you have to pay in 6 weeks that he did not cover with the $2,100 that you took out of his account?
I had to come up with money to move out of the house.
That's your problem. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Deal with it. That's your problem. That's not his problem. What?
I was just going to say that first and foremost...
Say something by standing up.
Sure.
What?
First and foremost, she was responsible enough to do what she had to do to take the engagement ring and sell it to her family jeweler.
I don't believe her, and I don't believe you. She did not sell this ring to a family jeweler, because if she did, the jeweler is responsible by law to give her a receipt. Do you understand?
I do understand.
And this wasn't a little ring for $300. This was a solitaire, which he paid over $14,000 for, and if you expect me to believe that she sold that ring in February to pay bills for him, which is what she alleges in his answer, I don't buy it.
That's
judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000, which is the maximum that I can award to you, sir. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You can put everything else away. I'm not interested at all about any other money she owes you, because the ring covers it. Do you understand? Clearly. I assume that you sued her in small claims court because it's the only way that you thought you'd get any money at all, and you wouldn't have to hire a lawyer to sue her civilly anyplace else. You are entitled to that ring back, because an engagement ring is not an absolute gift until the marriage is fulfilled, and it was never fulfilled, right?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff. Out.
Parties are excused.
It's wrong on his part. The reason we didn't get married was his actions.
I gotta hand it to Miss Martell. I really do. She's very consistent. Every time her lips move, there's a lie.
I didn't want to be with him anymore, and he was upset by that.
You've heard of the deal saying a good pet's gone bad? Well,
he was threatening me because I wanted to move out for a while for him to straighten up.
How threatening am I? 140 pounds, 5'4"? Ooh.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pritchard versus Butler. Step forward, please.
Legal assistant Tanya Pritchard is suing her former friend, roofer John Butler, for medical bills. Tanya says John's pit bull bit her 5-year-old daughter in the face.
Mrs. Pritchard, this is your little girl, I assume. Is that right? Her name is?
Emily May Lowry.
And Emily was bitten by a dog that is owned by Mr. Butler. And she was bitten on the lip.
Correct.
She had some surgery.
Yes.
She's going to need probably some more.
Yes.
And you are suing him for $4,000 for both her prior care and the care that she will probably need in the future, as well as some pain and suffering.
Correct.
And Mr. Butler says that it was Emily's fault and your fault. Correct, sir?
Correct.
Ah. When was your daughter bitten?
Where or when?
When?
When? September 6, 2003.
Next question is where?
We were at a company picnic potluck.
What does that mean?
It was a gathering with the company my fiance works for. So we were at a company potluck picnic. Everybody brings some stuff, and we just all get together. And
how many people were there?
At the beginning, probably around 100.
Did there come a time where there were more or less people in the 100?
Yes. After the softball game, about 3/4 of the people left.
What time did this incident happen where Mr. Butler's dog bit your daughter?
About 15 minutes before 8.
Had Mr. Butler been there the entire day?
He had been there during the picnic and the potluck, and then after the picnic and potluck and softball game, he left.
Where did you go, sir?
I went to go get my dogs.
Why did you leave to go and get your dogs?
I figured it'd be a good idea for them to run around in the field so I could throw the frisbee for them.
So you got them to play?
Right.
Had you been drinking that day, sir?
I've had a few beers.
A few is more than 2?
2 beers.
Well, was it 2 or more than 2?
A couple, 2.
A couple, 2. And when you left to pick up your dogs and you brought them back, did you bring them back on leashes or not?
Not on leashes at all.
Why not?
I don't ever put leashes on my dogs.
Well, when your dogs are around other people, isn't it usually a wise idea to keep them on leashes, sir?
I've never had a problem before.
How long have you had these dogs?
I've had Buddha for 2 years.
Buddha?
Buddha.
Is that the dog that bit Emily?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is Buddha?
3 1/2.
So that he was 1.5 years old when you got him?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me about when your daughter was bitten by Buddha.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Here's my question for you, genius. If you know your dog is skittish around children, how dare you bring an unleashed dog to a picnic where there are children?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Pritchard says former friend John Butler owes for her daughter's medical bills. Tanya says John's pit bull bit her in the face.
Go ahead.
Okay, John came back with the dogs, let them loose. They were running around. The people who stayed decided to play horseshoes, so we all moved to the horseshoe pit area. The children that were there were playing right behind our chairs, and our chairs were facing the horseshoe pit so that we could see what was going on. Buddha was actually in the way of the horseshoe game that was trying to get underway, and he kept running in front of everybody that was trying to throw the horseshoes. So everybody was telling John to get the dogs out of the way. John grabbed his dog, Buddha, kind of just pulled him back a little bit and told him to stay out of the way, and then pushed him off. As soon as he pushed him off and let go, he ran directly to Emily. The very next thing I know, she's screaming. As soon as he let go and said, "Go away," the dog ran and jumped up and bit her.
And bit her on the face?
Yes.
Describe that moment.
I actually have pictures of it.
I'd like to see the photographs.
The bite, we were told by the surgeon that there was only 1 millimeter of skin hanging.
Can I see it? Don't tell me what the surgeon said. That's hearsay. Emily, could you come up here so I could take a look at your lips, sweetheart? Come on. You're a very pretty little girl. Is that where the dog bit you? Did it hurt? Very pretty. Do you know my name? Do you know what my job is? No? Do you know who your dad is? Would you like to go and sit down next to him? Go ahead. Go and sit down. Okay. All right, well, this is a pretty nasty bite. How many stitches did she have?
It took 15 stitches. 10 of them were on the inside, and then 5 of them were on the outside.
What do you have there?
I have an estimate from the plastic surgeon of how much the dermabrasion is going to cost. Okay. The dermabrasion is where they just grind it down a little bit to get rid of those bumps.
Okay. Okay. And Mr. Butler, were you present when Buddha bit Emily?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me first your version of how that happened, sir.
Everybody's playing horseshoes, and I was talking to a fellow co-worker, and he was falling down on me. He was intoxicated, and people were playing horseshoes, and I was waiting my turn to play the horseshoes. And all the little kids were playing frisbee and throwing the ball behind all the adults. I think there was like 2 to 3 dogs out there, I don't know. And I just heard a little scream, and everybody was freaking out, and then I found out that one of the dogs had bit the little girl. So I grabbed both my dogs and I put them in the truck, and then I went and grabbed some ice for the little girl.
You knew it was your dog?
Well, I brought 2 dogs.
You didn't know which of your 2 dogs had done it?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dog is Buddha?
He's Pit Bull and Boston Terrier.
How much does he weigh?
25 pounds.
Now, I read your answer very carefully, and your answer said that you believe it was Emily's fault.
Right.
I'd like you to tell me why you believe, sir, it's Emily's fault.
Well, the dog had been abused as a puppy, so it was kind of skittish around kids. So what I think happened was she had a stick or something in her hand and was most likely trying to get the dog's attention so the dog would chase the stick that she was trying to throw for it. So she was probably hitting the dog and screaming it, and the dog freaked out and bit her.
Okay, so let's go back to that. When you got the dog was a year old.
Right.
A year and a half old. And the person from whom you purchased the dog or from whom you got the dog had told you that the dog had been abused as a puppy.
Right.
By children?
By a child, yes.
By a child. Is that the reason that they were getting rid of the dog?
That was the reason why.
So you knew that the dog was skittish around kids?
I had never seen it, but that's what they have told me.
Then here's my question for you, genius. If you know your dog is skittish around children, how dare you bring an unleashed dog to a picnic where there are children?
I didn't think anything like this would happen.
You didn't think, which means you didn't use your brain. Is that right?
That's right.
So then, why don't you just say, it's my fault and I'm responsible?
It's not.
No, whose fault is it? It's Emily's fault. Emily had prior knowledge that your dog was skittish around children. This 5-year-old had that information? Take your hands out of your pockets. I just asked you a question.
No, the child did not know, but the parent...
But you knew.
I knew.
You knew. So what you're supposed to do is keep a dog like that within your control at all times. Not bring a dog who's been abused by children and skittish around children to a picnic. Because that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You know, ordinarily, I may not even think that punitive damages are appropriate, but your stupidity is absolutely worth punitive damages. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I do kind of feel bad, but I think it, you know, a child hitting a dog and stuff like that, just to come.
As I held her lip onto her face on the way to the hospital, I realized that she was going to be scarred, and it hurt very deeply.
He has to wear a muzzle, and he has to be harnessed up now.
I waited to let my emotions out until she was being stitched up, and then I walked out of the room and broke down.
I work with the husband every day. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, hard to look at him, hard to deal with him, you know, due to what happened, someone attacking your little girl.
I don't believe in leashes.
Leashes are a definite unless you have your dogs under complete voice control.
Animals are like people too.
I've actually heard hearsay that the dog has done other things since then.
I just hope we can all put this behind us.
Pulling hair, scratching eyes.
2 women, 1 vendetta.
She was choking me, said, I'm gonna kill you. She's a bad person. She does bad things.
Have you been cited for any other assault?
No, ma'am. Yes, she has. Right here. I totally forgot about that.
How many times have you been cited for assault?
Just once. I think just 2.
Judge Judy.
You have a problem with your temper.
I don't have a problem with my...
This case number 83 on the calendar in the matter of Saturday versus Colvin. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Who's this?
This is my mother.
Who's this?
This is my mom.
Do you work?
I just graduated college.
And you?
I have my own business.
What kind of business?
It's a secondhand store that sells home interiors and clothing.
Okay. How long have you been in that business?
Just 4 months.
And what kind of work does your mother do?
My mother's retired.
From what?
The electric company.
You think your mother ever had a fist fight with anybody?
Yes, I do.
You do? You think your mother ever had a fist fight with anybody?
She has not.
Right?
Right, it's not.
Ridiculous, right?
Yes, it is.
Did you ever have a fist fight with anybody?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yes.
How many times?
One time, someone came to my house to fight me.
How long ago?
25 years ago.
Okay. One time. I don't understand girls having fights.
My mother had a fist fight.
Sorry, Bert, I don't care. Yeah, I'm sure your mother's a nice lady. I don't understand. I don't understand ladies having fists. I don't understand men having fist fights, but you know, they're men, so you sort of understand it. But I don't understand women.
Yes, having fights.
Nurturers. Caregivers.
Yes.
Pulling hair, scratching eyes, using their... I don't understand that. You agree?
Yes, I agree.
So, it is your claim that the defendant had you falsely arrested twice for various acts, and the second time was for violating a protective order that she had against you. The defendant has a cross-complaint. The defendant's cross-complaint is that you assaulted her and caused her to lose a contact lens, so you both want lots of money from the other for emotional distress and this loss of your freedom and the filing of false charges against you. Those charges were subsequently dismissed after a trial.
Yes.
Okay. How do you know each other?
I met Taquana through a mutual friend.
What started the problem between the two of you?
Taquana is just a bad person. I was around her only for about 2 months, and the type of person she is just, she's a bad person. She does bad things. She's very argumentative.
So you didn't like her?
Yeah, and I decided I didn't want to be around her. And while she was still friends with the friend that we met through, I even told Taquana, like, well, since you're around her and I'm around her, we're going to get along, just like that. And the last time I had seen Taquana was probably like the beginning of June of 2003, and didn't see her again to September 9th, September 10th at a nightclub. And I seen her with her cousin. I went up to her cousin, because Taquana and her cousin, they just started being back friends.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I have other cases to do.
Okay, okay.
Let's get to it.
Okay, well, I said something to Taquana's cousin, and evidently her cousin said something to her.
So you said something negative
I
about
really didn't say. I'll tell you what I said. When I was seeing her cousin, I went to her, I gave her a hug, and I told her, I was like, if you need a friend to hang around, I will hang around you. You do not have to hang with Taquana. Taquana is a bad person.
So you said negative things about her?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. On September 10th, the night that I seen her, Taquana called like 3:40 in the morning, left me this crazy, terrible message telling me that she's going to handle me, she's going to come to my house, she's going to see me, this and that, and she's going to call me early in the morning. At 8:40 in the morning, she also called me and told me that she's going to come over my house and handle me. And I have the recording right here if you would like to hear it. Brace yourself.
Saved message.
Okay, just stop. Stop the tape. Make it lower, Byrd, so that, because it probably is distorting the sound, so that I can hear it. I got the gist of it. Why would you call her and leave that kind of a message?
Because Sandy had been slandering my name to relatives as well as...
What had she been saying about you that you heard?
She had been saying that I give oral sex, I will steal your man, I will steal your money, I'm a bad person, just all types of things about my character that were false.
So?
So, I was...
You think that a message like that says that you're a good person?
No, it doesn't.
You think it says that you are a genteel person?
I think that that type of message would just lead somebody to believe that I was highly upset.
Well, going to get her, because that's what you said.
Yes,
in the message. That's what you said in
I
the
didn't say that I was going to get her.
Well, pretty much.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was choking me, said, I'm going to choke the out of you. I'm going to kill you. I punched Sandy back a few times or so, trying to keep her off me. It was just basically hitting on me.
Fight.
Yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mary Sandy Saturday says Taquana Colvin had her falsely arrested for assault. Taquana claims Sandy beat her up and threatened her life.
She called you and she left a nasty message. What's next?
Okay, when she filed a false charge against me for, she said I was stalking her. This was like on March 10th.
Let me see what she filed against you. Well, it says that, did she assault you in September of 2003?
Yes.
How?
Sandy called me back at my cousin's house, and we talked, and she stated at that time that she didn't want to fight me, and she was tired of arguing with me. And so at that time I asked Sandy, what will it take for you to stop?
That is the whole
No.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Say nothing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What will it take for you to stop slandering my name and talking about me constantly? And I suggested, if I give you back your $50 for the 50-cent concert ticket, would that settle the dispute?
Why were you going to give her back the $50? Had she given you $50 and you didn't give her the ticket?
Yes, she had, I gave her the ticket, actually. She had gave me, before we went on a summer vacation together, I purchased a set of 3 tickets. One was for Mary, one was for another person, and one was for myself. And we went on the summer vacation where Sandy and this other woman started being really mean to me. So by the time that I returned to Cincinnati, I had pretty much decided that I was going to end the relationship with Mary and her friend, and that they were not going to the concert with me. I had purchased them on my credit card, and what I wanted to do was just reimburse them for their money and take other people. And Mary agreed.
That was September
10th. So I went over to her house.
What time?
Almost noon.
Okay.
When I stepped up on the curb, Mary appeared at the door. She ran out of her house and ran down the steps, and she approached me. She asked me, what the do you have to say now? And I stated, I don't have anything to say to you. I'm coming over here, and before I could finish my sentence, she punched me in the forehead.
And then what happened?
And she continued punching me. She started choking me. I was pushing Mary back by her shoulders, constantly asking her to stop fighting me. She was choking me, said that I'm going to choke the hell out of you. I'm going to kill you. Basically, I punched Sandy back a few times or so, trying to keep her off me. I turned and I ran across the street, and she chased me across the street and grabbed me by the back of my hair. It was just basically hitting on me.
Fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me your interpretation of the events of September 10th.
I never called Taquana. I never spoke with Taquana. I haven't had a conversation with Taquana since probably the end of May. About around 12 o'clock or whatever, ritual, I go to the gym around that time. I come out my house, and Taquana's sitting in her car waiting for me. And I walked down the stairs, and we just started fighting. But you didn't hear the rest of this tape. The tape is crazy. And it's just crazy. And the police, I did call the police because I live on a cul-de-sac, and Taquana and some girl kept riding on the adjacent street from me. And I sat on my porch and waited for...
And you were arrested? As a result of...
I was arrested 12 days later, the first time.
But for this incident?
For
this incident on September 10th?
Yeah, I was arrested on September 22nd.
Can I see the paperwork you have, please?
Okay. This is for the assault. This is the dismissal for the TPO, and this is the acquit for the valet and the protection order.
Yeah, well, it says on September 18th. Not September 10th. It says it's September 18th. Was there another argument on September 18th?
No.
No. Obviously,
they got this all wrong.
She had did this to other people in 2003 too. So since she done did it to so many people, they probably got mixed up.
Well, maybe I'll ask that question. Maybe it will be in this other report. Have you been cited for any other assault in 2003?
No, ma'am.
Yes, you have. Right here.
You sure? Before I look at any other document, Ms. Colvin.
I totally forgot about that, but I didn't have to go to court on it.
Can I see it, please? That's not what I asked you.
They just drove us to the police. Yes, ma'am.
And this fight ended up in 2000.
Yes, you certainly have. How many times have you been cited for assault?
I think just 2 leading up to that situation.
It's fair to say that you have a problem with your temper.
I don't have a problem with my temper.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Was arrested because of false charges Taquana Colvin made to police.
How many times have you been taken into custody for assault?
None.
With the exception of this time?
Yeah, with the exception of that one. Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Including myself, 2 other people filed protection orders against Taquana in 2003.
And they were
dismissed. Can I see them, please?
All for the same thing.
Can I see them, please?
No, that's not true.
Can
I
take
speak,
a look?
Judge?
What?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Okay. Ma'am, Sandy is saying that Taquana does all this and all that. This has been a big ongoing thing with our cousin.
Listen to me. I have a
Yes.
who sought a protective order against you.
An ex-boyfriend.
I don't care, but he sought a protective order.
Okay.
I have a...
Yes, and they were both dismissed.
They were both dismissed.
Listen to me. You have a temper. I just heard it.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one incident here that caused this protective order. It was ultimately dismissed.
Yes.
Okay, now let's get to the second one. The second cause of action that you have is that these 2 ladies came to your place of business and you told your boss that there was a protective order because there was a temporary protective order in place. He asked you to leave. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did leave.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you filed a violation of the temporary protective order.
Yes, ma'am. Can I tell you what happened?
Sure.
When we
No. I want her to tell me what happened.
I left the bar manager.
How many bars are there in Cincinnati?
Many.
So how do you think it came about that you chose the one where she was employed to go into with your mother?
It's not that I chose the one that she was employed at. I live on that street. My business is on that street, and I attend that bar several times a week. Mary chose to get a job at that bar knowing that I had already been living on that street, had already been owning a business on that street. She got the job. Did she have proof of how long she had been working at that bar?
Just a second. Don't ask me. You're showing your temper, honey.
Okay.
I'm going to just let you go. You're going to bury yourself. On what basis do you claim that she violated the protective order?
Before the bar manager came over to ask me if I had a restraining order against her or whatever, I agreed. I told him, yes, I did have a temporary restraining order against her. He said, okay, that's fine. When you finish with your drink, would you please leave? I said, sure, I will leave when I'm finished with my drink.
Why didn't you just leave?
Because I was in the middle of my drinks as well. I was with my
when you
relatives.
file a protective order against somebody, that
I was
means...
there first, Your Honor.
Be quiet. Be quiet. When you file a protective order against someone, Miss Colvin, it means that you're afraid of them, right?
Supposedly, yes.
What do you mean supposedly, yes?
That you're supposed to be afraid of this person. Yes.
Right.
But I was with my...
Sit down. So I would assume that when you filed, since you say you're a normal person, that when you filed a protective order against her, you filed it because you were afraid of her.
Right.
Well, then, I wouldn't wait till I finished my drink, even though I was there first. I would say to my mother, I don't want there to be any trouble. Let's go. You, on the other hand, decided to stay because you were there first. And your store is on that street, and you had a right to be. Well, that's what you just told me. You said I was there first.
I was there first, but I was going to leave like the bar manager asked me when I finished my drink.
He shouldn't have to ask you.
Okay.
Don't you understand what I just said? He shouldn't have to ask you, madam.
Because I'm supposed to be afraid, right?
Let me tell you something. I believe that she filed these protective orders against you, and I believe she filed them maliciously. And I believe she knew about filing protective orders because she had already been served with a few herself in her lifetime, so she knew exactly what kind of trouble you could get into. Now, is the assault that you are claiming the assault when you went over to give her back her $50? That's your counterclaim, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's baloney. Because that girl whose foul, fresh mouth left 2 messages on that machine did not go over to make peace the next day. No way. So your counterclaim is dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that she did file these cases against you maliciously. You were ultimately fired from your job. You're seeking $3,000 in damages. Now, my question to you is, do you believe that you acted appropriately in all of your dealings with the
acted
defendant?
very appropriately.
Okay. Put your hand down. Better teach your daughter a little self-control. She needs it. Tell me about your job. When did you lose your job?
Let me tell you what they did. When they talking about they was going to just leave after the drink, no, they put up a fight to stay in the bar. They put up a fight. And
what did they say?
They was talking to the manager, talking about it's a public place. They had the right to come and drink this and this and that. And I get to work at 6 o'clock. About 7:15, they were still in there. And then 3 police officers came to my job, got me from out the bar, and arrested me. Taquana told them I threatened to kill her.
You mean at the bar?
At the bar. And then a few days later, or the next day, her and her mother, she get it from her mother. She get it from her mother. Her and her mother requested a meeting with the bar manager and the owner to get me fired.
Is that when you were fired 3 days later?
Yes.
But you were removed from the bar by the police?
I was physically removed and arrested.
What?
She was removed from the bar because she went back by the register and turned around and faced me and my party and did this, and at the same time said that you were dead.
You shouldn't have been there.
Yes, ma'am.
You were annoying her.
Okay.
You and your mother and whoever else you were with. You had no right to be there. Saturday is seeking compensation for having her falsely arrested and for losing her job in the amount of $3,000. I'm awarding her $3,000.
Thank you.
You better learn to watch yourself. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000.
Thank you.
That's all.
Everything that girl said was a lie. Everything. her life is a lie.
We don't want Mary to call our house or even be, you know, talking about her in the street. You know, she wanted the money. That's all she wants. She needs to let it go.
This should be the end of it.
Her mother is the devil. She's the devil advocate. I'm grown. I didn't bring my mother into this. She brought my mother into this because she made false charges against my mother, too.
She knew that I was coming over there like we agreed on the telephone, and I was approaching the building to give her the money.
Taquana got what she deserves. She has done this to other people, and I'm the only one who took it this far, but she got what she deserved.
Your father was released from a prison term and needed to borrow some money.
A daughter who was his only hope.
I did 15 years in prison.
How come you asked your stepdaughter for money?
She was the closest one to me.
But when her world fell apart...
You recently lost your sight.
Yep.
Did a father do the unthinkable?
He abandoned me when I was in the hospital.
Judge Judy.
If she really needed the money.
She really needed...
Unpaid loan. Angela says Michael needed help to get back on his feet after he was released from prison.
Yes, case number 53 on the calendar in the matter of Clark versus Clark. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Clark, this is your father, is that right?
Correct.
And your mother is standing to your side?
Correct.
You recently lost your sight as a result of an illness?
Viral encephalitis. I was bit by an insect.
You have no vision at all?
Light and dark sensation only.
And when did that happen?
June of last year.
Is there any treatment for it?
No, ma'am. It's permanent.
What kind of work did you do before?
I was an oncology and hospice research nurse.
Your lawsuit says that in 2001, your father was released from a prison term and needed to borrow some money, and you loaned him $1,000. He paid you back, according to your complaint, $300. Now that you are unemployed and money is really an important issue for you, you want the money back, the rest of the money that he promised to repay, $700. And your father says that he paid you back every penny of the money he borrowed. It was $900, but he paid you back every penny. Is that right?
Correct.
When were you released from prison, Mr. Clark?
January 2000.
And how long had you been incarcerated?
5 years.
Tell me about the loan that your daughter made to you. When was it?
It was after I got out of prison in 2000. I did 6 months in a recovery system. After that, I had purchased a car, and the transmission went out, and I borrowed $1,000 from her, which she did not send me $1,000. She sent me $900 because it cost her $75 to send it to me. So
well, that cost her $75 to send it to you, so that's almost $1,000. But for the fact that she sent you the money,
at the present,
she wouldn't have had the expense.
Right. At that time, I was going through separation with my ex-wife, which is here as her witness. She was having me put in jail at the same time, which my parole officer at the same time was understanding.
For what?
Domestic violence.
Okay.
I went to court for it, and it was...
Okay. You started to pay her back when, sir?
After I moved to Columbus.
And when was that?
18 months later.
When did you send him this money?
February of 2001.
And how did you send it? By wire?
Western Union, and that's why I sent him $925, because they charged me $75 to send it. And he agreed to that prior to me sending it to him.
When did your father make his first payment?
Well, he wrote me a check, but it bounced.
When was that? Do you remember?
February of 2002. So then he was supposed to pay me when he got his taxes back, but they kept his taxes because he defaulted on a student loan. So he still didn't pay me. I, by then, was financially having some difficulties of my own, and I asked him, I said, can you, since you can't pay me back, like you said, can we make arrangements for $100 a month? So at least I would be able to do what I had to do, and he agreed to that.
And when was the first payment?
He started working at the strip club about 2 months after that, and I got my first payment. He paid me in all quarters. And then...
that would be around August of 2002?
Yes, ma'am. And then the next time he paid me was a month later. He paid me another $100, and that was like in quarters and ones. And then the last payment...
Why were you giving her money in quarters?
Mainly, most of that was tips. Tips made. I was paying her 3 times a week.
That's untrue.
It was in tips.
That was
well, why, Mr. Clark, were you annoyed that your daughter... Listen to me carefully, sir. Were you annoyed that your daughter was asking you for this money back?
No, ma'am.
Well, then, you're a grown man. You can take quarters and you go to the bank and you turn in the quarters and you get dollar bills or $10 bills or $5 bills to repay your debt. You don't act like a baby and give your daughter quarters, $100 or $200 in quarters. That's ridiculous.
He could have cashed it at the tip bar. Shh. Sorry, Your Honor.
My tips are rich, from $1 bills to $10 bills to $20 bills. I make at least $500 a night in tips. I give her $100 a night 3 times a week in tips. Sometimes it is all ones.
Don't speak yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes it is all ones.
Oh.
But never no quarters. And there's no one uses change in the strip club.
Okay. When did you ask your father again for the balance of what he owed you?
After I got hospitalized in June, I had to go to the Cleveland Clinic for a second opinion on my sight. And I asked my father, well, actually, my mother was going to take me. We went by ambulance, and my father said he would drive up with us and make sure I got back home. But he left me stranded there. I was upset when I got back that he abandoned me when I was in the hospital. So I went to see him in October, and that's when he told me that he had no intention of paying me, that everybody wants something from him, and he can't get what he ain't got.
Well, tell me about that conversation, Miss Clark. You said, Dad,
No, well, first I asked him why he left me stranded because he wouldn't return any of my calls. So finally,
and what did he say to you?
He didn't answer it. He started saying, well, the reason I had to leave you up there is because if you needed blood, I couldn't give you blood.
Blood pressure.
Let her answer.
And,
sorry. Okay, let her answer. She's doing just fine.
He said that he couldn't give me blood if I needed blood because he's my stepfather, not my regular father. And I was like, so you left me stranded for blood I never even needed? And then I kept trying to call him on the phone to find out why he left me, but he would never call me back.
So
I finally, when I found him, I asked him, I said, you know, I really need this money. I got a mortgage and a car note. And
what did he say to you?
His exact words were, everybody wants something I can't give them. You can't get what I ain't got, and I ain't giving you nothing. And at that time, I started getting emotional, and my grandmother walked in, and I left.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Of your biological children, nobody would give you money, but you ask your listen to me, you asked your stepdaughter, and she gave it to you.
Yes.
And later today,
before I moved out, I told him that if he breached our agreement, he would not see it. And he said, that's fine, I'll take the loss to get you out of my life.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Clark says her stepfather, Michael Clark, owes for an unpaid loan to get back on his feet. Michael says he was in prison for over 15 years.
Now, sir, I'd like you to tell me when you claim you made payments to, this is your stepdaughter?
Mm-hmm.
To your stepdaughter.
When I started making payments to her, I'd give her $100 a week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week.
Do you remember when that was, sir?
Every week. After
Starting
the
when?
date of I started work in 2001. It was like 18 months after that, 2001.
After 18 months, you paid her, and it took you just a couple of weeks to pay her off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any biological children, sir?
2. I have.
How old are they?
Actually, I have more than that. By my ex-wife, there's my set of twins.
How old are all your children, sir?
They range from 38 to 10 years old.
So how come you asked your stepdaughter for money?
She was the closest one to me.
Yep. That is true. Shh, just a second. So, of your biological children, nobody would give you money, but you ask your listen to me, you asked your stepdaughter for money, and she gave it to you, right?
Yes.
Now, if that's true, because you say she was the closest to you, right?
Yes.
Let's say she needs $700 now. Let's say, and I'm not saying that I believe you, let's say you paid her. Why wouldn't you just give her $700?
I pay child support, I pay rent, I have to live.
With his mother.
Attorney fees that I have to pay, that I'm still paying. If she really needed the money, I would do whatever it takes to get the money and give it to her.
Well, evidently, sir, she really needs the money. She wouldn't bring you to court, sir, unless she needed money.
Having the children, biological children that I do have, I don't know where they live. I did 15 years in prison. I don't know where they live.
Well,
Angel is the
evidently
only
they
one I
weren't
know.
close enough to you to find out where you
Angel
were.
is the only one that I knew at the time where she was.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, but he took his daughter to the strip club where he lives. She lives 4 blocks from us. He helped her move into her apartment. He knows where all his children are, every one of us. And I didn't know he was my stepfather until he abandoned me in the hospital, and I still gave him the money.
I have to make a judgment
Yes,
whether
ma'am.
I believe that somebody who opened their heart and gave to a parent / step-parent money when they needed it and waited years in order to get paid back would make up a story about still being owed the balance of a loan, or whether there is a ring of truth to her statement that in response to her saying, I need my money now, you said to her, everybody's looking for a piece of me. They can't get what I don't have. Just like what you said, Mr. Clark. You got children, you got biological children, you got child support, you got lawyers, you got rent, you got everything else to pay. So that sounds like words that probably came out of your mouth. That everybody's looking for a piece of me, and you're going to get disability, and you're going to get workman's comp, or you're going to get whatever else you're going to get, and you're going to be just fine. Stop looking at me. I'm just an old man who's trying to make ends meet. Well, you make ends meet after you pay her back the $700 that you owe her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm grateful that I got my $700, but what he did today is going to cost him a lot more than that, because now he has no relationship with any of his children.
She brought my ex-wife in here and just divorced her in December, so that's just, she just want to antagonize me.
Well, not only did he leave me stranded, did not pay me, but since I've been ill and lost my vision, I haven't heard from him, not once in the last 9 months since it happened to me.
I love my daughter, but when she first told me, when I first found out she was in the hospital, I was concerned about the blood thing. I panicked about it, I got stressed about it.
He didn't want a relationship with me when he owed me money. I'm sure he doesn't want one now that he actually has to pay me the money.
Pauline's mad at me, Dottie's mad at me, Angel's mad at me, half my kids are mad at me because of this family here. So I'm not worried about it anymore. I got a life to live and I'm gonna live it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Noonamaker versus Noonamaker, step forward, please.
Salesman Bruce Noonamaker is suing his son, truck driver Shad Noonamaker, for unpaid credit card charges. Shad claims he's never stopped making payments.
Mr. Noonamaker, this is your son.
Yes.
According to what I read in your complaint, 2 years ago, your son ran into some difficulty with a truck that he owned for business. And the truck broke down, requiring a substantial amount of repairs. You loaned him money to make, stop playing with your papers. You loaned him the money to make the repairs on your truck through your credit card. There was an agreement that he would pay you back, and he had been making the payments faithfully on your credit card from 2002 until March of 2004. So far, am I correct?
Yes.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he stopped making the payments. You want at least part of the balance of what is owed, because the maximum in this court is $5,000. The defendant says that you breached the agreement with you with regard to repayment of this loan, so the loan was null and void. And he'll explain that to me in a moment. When, in 2002, was this loan made?
May 2nd of 2002.
And under what circumstances was it made?
Shad was on a trip. He drives over the road, and during the trip, he was outside of Colorado, about 150 miles outside of Denver, rather, in Grand Junction, Colorado, and he called me and said that his truck, the engine had blown.
What kind of truck did you have, sir?
It's a Freightliner. I have a photo here.
I'd like to see it.
That's to arrange his own financing for the $12,000 engine in his truck, and without that, he was out of work.
Now, tell me, sir, why did you stop making payments? You were making the payments to your father.
Ma'am, I never stopped making payments. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of all of my checks, and I also have a copy number check number 619 for $247.54, which I just called yesterday, and my bank says it has not cleared, which tells me that for some reason or another, Bruce does not want to cash the check.
Did you receive a check that you did not cash, sir?
I cashed it a couple days ago, yes.
So you did cash it?
I did.
Just a few days ago. So what are you doing here?
That was a check for March. At the time of our separation, he was living with me in my home.
I understand that.
And it came to a point where we came to some conflict.
I understand that. And he moved out, and he moved out. You told him to move out, and he was angry. But you've just cashed a check, sir, that he paid for, and he said he's paid for the truck, and he intends to continue to honor the agreement. So what are you doing here?
That's not true.
What's not true?
The truth of the matter is that he sent me a check after we separated on March 19th. Sent me a check for partial payment on the March payment. At the day that we separated, when the papers were served by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, he verbalized that, and prior to that too, that I would never see the rest of that money.
Well, he was speaking out of the top of it, or, you know, he was speaking out of anger because he acknowledges that this is his debt, and he's acknowledged that in open court. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. You understand, Mr. Noonamaker, that if you fail, now that we have an acknowledged debt, it doesn't have to be in writing anymore. It's an acknowledged debt under oath.
With no stipulations?
So, listen to me. It's an acknowledged debt under oath. You understand that if you fail to pay this debt, your father has a lien on your truck. Do you understand that? I want you to understand that.
No, I don't know that.
Well, then I am telling you that. Your father has a lien on your truck should you fail to pay it. It's exactly the same thing as if you had a written contract with him, a written loan agreement with him. Do I make myself clear?
Thus far, yes.
Good. I suggest, sir, that you make those payments on time every month.
Ma'am?
Yes.
May I add something? It's very important. Before I moved out, I told him that if he breached our agreement, he would not see it. And he said, that's fine. I'll take the loss to get you out of my life.
What are you talking about breach? Tell me.
The agreement was that I would continue to make payments and still live in his house and do my studies.
Well, that's what you wrote in your answer that I didn't believe when I read it in your answer. Are you telling me, sir, that when you called your father from the road in May of 2002 and said, Dad, I blew the engine on my truck and I don't have the finances to fix it. Can you lend me the money? And your father said yes. And what you want me to believe is, and you said to your father, and I will pay you back as long as you are nice to me, watch your temper, let me live in your house and continue my studies. And your father said yes, under those conditions I will... Stop speaking! Under those conditions, I will give you the $12,000. Is that what you want me to believe? Get a life.
We did not make an agreement, ma'am.
Listen to me, sir.
We did not discuss an agreement.
Listen to me, sir. I've just advised your son, under oath, your son has acknowledged this loan to you. There were no conditions on the loan. I find that there were no conditions on the loan. I will enter an order that should he miss 2 payments, you have leave to enter a judgment against him in the amount of the balance owed on the truck, and you may enter a lien against that truck in order to execute on it. You can sell it. Do you understand?
I do. What about the 2
months?
Goodbye. He has issues from his childhood that he's still trying to work through.
The animosity began, I don't know, years and years ago when he developed a chemical imbalance.
Chad left us once before for 3 years. We didn't know if he was alive or dead.
Bruce said that he would let the thing go, and then he sued me 2 days later. Can you understand why I was a little bit confused whether or not I was supposed to be making payments?
I didn't forgive the debt. I said, I'll have to deal with it in whatever fashion I have to go.
If you want to go upward, you have to get away from people that are trying to drag you down.
I hope that there's healing for Chad's spirit and our family.
A mother's savings vanished.
This account was specifically formed for Christina's college funds.
And the key suspect? Her own son.
This isn't the first time that he's done this. He was in prison.
What was he in prison for?
Grand theft auto.
So he's a thief.
Exactly.
Judge Judy.
If she needed money so bad for college, why would she spend $6,000 for breast implant?
That's not your business. How much did your tattoos cost? Is your brother?
Yes.
This is your mom?
Yeah.
According to your complaint, you and your mom had an arrangement with your banking. You would give your mom your money that you were saving for school, and then she had another account where you paid bills at another account. And it is your complaint that your brother accessed the account and stole $1,175 by writing unauthorized checks.
Phone checks.
Your brother says he borrowed the money from your mother. She told him that he had the authority to go in and take the money out of that account, that he paid her back a good deal of it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That he didn't pay her back all of it because he's been generous to her, helping her out the last few months. And he is counterclaiming because he says that you called him a thief in front of some business associates and therefore tarnished his reputation.
He did it on his own.
Shh. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's start with what we have. We have a situation where you took money out of a bank account that belonged to
My mother.
your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
According to you. And you took out how much money?
I'm sure it was $1,175 in different disbursements, so not at one time.
And when did you start taking that money out?
This is last year. I don't know the exact dates.
Now, can you explain to me, sir, how you got access to this account?
Yes, ma'am. My mother, those checks are not like regular checks. You have to have a PIN number to access those checks, which is my mother's personal identification number. It's for her bank.
I know what a PIN number is. Even I, as challenged as I am, know what a PIN number is.
She gave me the account.
Well, tell me how that came about, Mr. Robley.
I'm an event coordinator. I do sporting events, kind of like a promoter type deal. At first, I needed help with my flyers. So I asked my mother, if I could borrow some money. I told her I'd pay her back.
Okay. So you went to your mother prior to April 2nd.
Yes, ma'am.
And said, I need some money for flyers.
Yes, ma'am.
And your mother is together. I mean, she's not addled or anything. She's a together woman. Is that right? So a normal person would have said, well, if you need some money, what's your first name?
Matthew.
Matthew, how much do you need? Right?
Exactly.
And what did you say?
I said I needed $300.
And what did she say?
She said, okay. She had a checkbook because she worked at Circle K at the time, and there were Circle K checks only.
And she gave you her PIN number?
She gave me her PIN number.
What was the PIN number?
I don't remember it anymore.
And so you went to the bank and you took out $375.
Yes, ma'am.
But your mother had only agreed, according to you, to loan you $300.
No, ma'am, that's not correct. She asked me how much I need, and
you
said, and I said $300. But she did not agree just on a specific amount. She asked me whatever I needed. The flyers ended up coming up to $375.
No. That's just, you made that up as you were going along, sir. An intelligent person, according to you, would say, how much do you need? You said $300, and according to you, she said okay, and she gave you a PIN number.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you went and took out $375.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Right. Okay. Now that was on the 2nd of April. Then you took out another $250 on the 4th of April. Tell me about that, sir.
It's the same thing. I needed it for lighting and sound for my event.
So, did you go back to your mother again?
Yes, I asked my mother.
No, did you go back to her again?
Yes, ma'am.
And then again on April 11th, you took out another $250. Did you go back to your mother again?
No.
You just took it out?
Yes, ma'am.
And on the 13th, you took out another $300. Did you go back to your mother again?
No, ma'am.
Okay, now we're going to hear from
Lynn. Thank you. Your Honor, this account that he is speaking of was specifically formed for Christina's college funds and what she needed to do for her college. That was it. I would never give him permission to take any of that money for any of his events whatsoever. And how he got the comm checks is what he's talking about?
Your Honor?
No!
Well, how he got those is he went through my personal property, my papers, and he found them. And he knew that number. I never gave him permission to take that. He went through my papers and took that out. Christina, she goes to school 5 days a week. She works weekends. She's a waitress. She's got a full-time schedule. And she just doesn't have enough time. Nobody's really helping her with school. And so I took on a second job just for that. And I would never give him permission for an event. Matthew's been with me for 4 years now. He's taken money. This isn't the first time that he's done this.
What do you mean he's been with you for 4 years?
He was away.
Away where?
He was in prison.
Yeah.
And he came out.
What was he in prison for?
Grand theft auto. But
so he's just a second. So he's a thief.
Yeah, exactly.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
At the same time that this was going on, she went and spent $6,000 on breast implants. If she needed money so bad for college, why would she spend $6,000 for breast implants?
That's not your business. How much did your tattoos cost?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Reagan says her brother Matthew Oakley stole from her checking account. Christina says the money was earmarked for her college tuition.
So you went to jail for grand theft auto because you stole cars?
Yes, ma'am. This is when I was a child. I mean, I was really young when I did this. I came out of jail and totally straightened my life out.
Not according to your mother. No. Listen to me. Not according to your mother. If it's not according to your mother that you straightened your life around, I can't think of who is going to be more of a cheerleader than your mother.
Yeah, but can I say something, Your Honor?
When you came out of prison, where did you go to live?
I went with my mother's friend. Her name is Rosalie.
Never lived with your mother?
No, my mother actually lived with me. She came afterwards. After I was living at that house, she moved in.
You know what? Rosalie is my best friend, and I was actually, when he first came out, I was renting a room. And the landlord there, when Matthew came over to the house, didn't like the way he looked, knew that he just came out of prison. He told me that I had to leave. So I was already going to move in and be a roommate with my friend. Matthew just happened to go there the day before, but it's not because he was going to move in there before me. He just happened to get there before I did. It was nothing even like that. That is so untrue.
Your Honor, can I say something?
And so let me tell you this. So ever since that day, because we've had a lot of problems through these 4 years, and he'll always tell me, I'll say, Matthew, okay, you know what? It's time for you to leave. You're just not doing the right thing. You got to leave. And he's like, well, I was here first. I don't have to go nowhere, and that's what the problem is. He's gotten into my check account, and what he would do is take checks out of the middle of the checkbooks. I don't have that anymore. And then so I would notice it, and I would check a balance, and they'd say, well, you don't have this. And finally somebody said, why don't you check your checkbook? I looked through, and it would be like 351, 356, and it's just been going on and on and on.
Your Honor, I'm not going to deny this.
Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny this. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to deny that I haven't done bad stuff in the past. This situation that we have right now, though, she did loan me the money. The reason she's saying this is because, number one, she's saying that my sister needs this money for college, okay, for her college fund. But yet, the reason that my sister got mad and didn't have the money because at the same time that this was going on, she went and spent $6,000 on breast implants.
Shh. Listen to me.
Okay, $6,000 on breast implants. The money. If she needed money so bad for college, why would she spend $6,000 for breast implants?
That's not your business. How much did your tattoos cost?
Free. I got them all for free. I got them all for free.
Really?
Yeah, all of them.
Why is that? Why would somebody do that kind of artwork on you for free?
Oh, just friends. It's nothing from shops. It's just friends that do it.
Don't speak yet. Does it look as if I'm having difficulty with him?
Sorry.
Huh? Does it look as so far, what I have, Mr. Oakley, is that if I were to believe you, your mother agreed to loan you $300.
Yes, ma'am.
And you took out $1,175.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means that you were a thief for $800. Now you say, in your answer, in addition to that, I paid her back.
Yes, ma'am.
Byrd wants to hear about that.
Yeah, I paid her. I pay my mother what I can. Sometimes I have money. Sometimes I don't.
Just a minute. When you say you pay her back, you live in a home with your mother, or you did with your mother and Rosalie?
No, my mother rents a room from me. At my house. It's my house. She rents a room from me.
Oh, I can tell you something about that.
Just a second.
Her
so it's your home?
Yes, it's my home.
How did you get a home?
I rent the house. I rent her and my brother one room.
Just a second. So you rent a house?
Uh-huh.
It's not your house. And when did you take over the lease on this house?
I've been in this house now for about 4 months.
And when did your mother tell you that she wasn't going to back up your story about these checks that you wrote?
Well, see, she never told me anything of the sort. My mother, okay, there's a problem because my mom, a while back, okay, she left for a while, probably for about 8 years. She ran off, okay, but it was a thing between my mother and dad. She ran off. my sister feels that my mother owes her something because she ran off, which it wasn't really my mom's fault. My sister will sit there and tell my mother she's stupid, shut up, embarrass her in front of people. And if she's going to sit, I don't believe she took it this far, because if she's going to sit here and say that my sister doesn't talk to her like that, she's lying and she's under oath, because that's what happens.
Mr. Oakley, Mr. Oakley, if you want to discuss, listen to me, sir, if you want to discuss the family dynamics in your home, go on a talk show.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
from 2 to 5, he was there at this Beach Girls place, and I called it at work. I didn't know what the heck Beach Girls was, and it turned out to be a bikini bar, disgusting.
And what did you do?
So when I found that out, I broke up with him.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Reagan says her brother Matthew Oakley stole from her checking account. Christina says the money was earmarked for her college tuition.
Now let's get to your counterclaim, and let's get there quickly. You say that your sister came in when you were having a business meeting and called you a...
thief.
But you are.
Loser. But I didn't steal the money.
But you are. No, but you are a thief. You're a convicted thief.
Yeah, past tense.
But that doesn't...
evidently,
sir, you don't
that
get...
that means, Judge, that if I did something in the past that I don't have any rights like anybody else to better myself, I'm still going to be considered a thief for something that happened in the past. You know,
no, she didn't say you were a current thief. She said you were a thief, and you were a thief. You were a convicted thief. You were a convicted felon, and you served jail time. And according to your sister, and according to what I found, you're an additional thief because you took money out of this account. Even if I believed your story, which I don't, you took money out of the account in an unauthorized fashion because you were given permission for 3 and you took 12. So that makes you a thief. So your counterclaim was dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,175. Thank you very much. Be happy.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't have to say a word. Judge Judy saw it the way it was. Matt's a thief.
I don't know. Maybe I need to get a job, a real job or something, start making some money. I don't know.
Actually, he just got a job and he's worked 7 days in a row, so we're really proud of him right now.
I tried, try to get a counterclaim, try to get a little bit of extra out of it, but it just didn't work.
I worked for it, It's my money. I want my money. I don't want someone taking what I work for. If he's not going to have a job, I don't take his money.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ewell versus Allen. Step forward, please.
Corporate receptionist Lori Ewell is suing her ex-boyfriend, Jason Allen, for his share of credit card charges. Jason says he doesn't owe Lori a dime.
Miss Ewell, you and the defendant were dating. He was in the process of getting a divorce. And according to your complaint, the two of you agreed that you were going to use one of your credit cards. He would use one of your credit cards for all of the expenses, dating expenses, his expenses, because of some machinations attached to the divorce. And that he would be responsible for paying that credit card. You gave him the credit card?
No.
You held on to the credit card?
Yeah.
And according to your complaint, he ultimately, the relationship wound down. You used the credit card, a couple of $1,000s worth of charges on the credit card. He gave you a check for $2,000 to cover the expenses on the credit card, and then he stopped payment on the check. Mr. Allen says that there was never an agreement with regard to the credit card. He gave you the $2,000 to help you pay down your debt, and that when you broke up with him, he put a stop payment on it. That's your defense.
That's correct.
That doesn't sound very convincing, Mr. Allen.
Well, I don't feel that I owe her anything.
I didn't ask you what you feel. I just made a statement. And the statement was, that doesn't sound very convincing. So I want you to digest that for a moment. When did you meet him?
September 3rd, his birthday.
And tell me about this arrangement that you made with him with the credit card. When did you first have that discussion with him?
Shortly after we were dating, about 2 weeks later, he couldn't use his credit because he paid for some of the dinners in the beginning, the first week, and everything was fine. Second week, he couldn't use his credit card because
well, what did he say to you? I want to know what he said to you.
He's going through a divorce and that he couldn't use his credit card because of the whole legal thing or something. So I was like, okay. So we were going to use my credit card. I said, okay. I said, I'm already in enough debt already. I said, so just as long as you promise me you'll pay me back. And he said, oh, yes, I will, because he's going to get some money from refinancing his house that his ex-wife wanted to keep. So $30,000 was going to come his way. And he goes, don't worry, Lori. Well, then I started shopping, okay? I was buying all the groceries for, almost every day.
Was he living with you?
Yeah.
When did he move in with you?
End of September, about.
And how long did that last?
That lasted till December 10th was when I broke out.
So what were you using the credit cards for?
Groceries.
What else?
That's basically it, just grocery shopping, just drinks, beverages, I mean, food, meat.
Okay. And then you broke up in September. Tell me about the $2,000 check.
That he wrote me on the 8th, and it was actually...
Can I see the check, please?
Yes. And I also have... Here's all the shopping I've done.
Okay. So what happened after he wrote you the check for $2,000?
I found out he was lying to me 2 days later, and so I thought...
What do you mean you found that he was lying to you?
He told me he was at... The day he wrote that check out, he told me he was at work all day, had a full work story, like, oh, this happened and that happened. I did detail... He worked on this guy's car, and he said that that guy offered him whiskey, and he, you know, drank with this man. And he worked at the man's house, the guy who's doing the work for. And so I believed him. It was a story, work story, you know. And I found out later, from receipts that I found, Beach Girls, didn't know what that was. And I found out that from the recording, the receipts, the ATM receipts, from 2 to 5, he was there at this Beach Girls place. And I called it at work. I didn't know what the heck Beach Girls was. And it turned out to be a bikini bar, a disgusting
Okay, so you found out he lied to you where he spent his afternoon. And what did you do?
So when I found that out, I broke up with him. And then I hadn't cashed the check yet because I was in no hurry because I trusted him.
Now I'll hear your end of the story, Mr. Allen.
Well, we met September. We started dating. It started getting good. I was involved in a divorce. I even brought my daughter to meet this girl.
Let's get to the credit cards. In September, did you tell her that you couldn't use your credit cards?
I told her I couldn't use my credit card.
Just a second. And did you tell her that if you used her credit cards, because you had to use somebody's credit cards, if you used her credit cards instead of using yours, you would reimburse her? Did you tell her that?
No, I did not.
So your intention was for her to use her credit cards for everything without reimbursing her?
No, I paid cash. I usually pay cash. A lot of my business, my customers would pay cash.
Pay cash for what?
For dinners, I would give her cash. For rent, I would write her a check.
Well, how many checks did you write her for rent?
Probably 3.
Can I see them?
I don't have those with me.
Well, who do you think has them?
Well, I just moved from here, from California to New Mexico. I have a lot of things in storage, and
but you have a bank, don't you?
Yes, well, that bank is closed. I closed out that account and opened a new one.
That doesn't make any difference. You can always get a copy of your checks by merely calling up the bank. And if it's your defense, that what you did was you gave her checks, therefore you don't owe her this money, and you gave her checks for rent and checks for other things, then it seems to me you come here with something equipped with something other than your smile. Do we understand each other?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. You don't write somebody a bad check and then come with a baloney story, sir. Doesn't fly. We understand each other?
Yes, it does.
Out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My customer wants to go golf, I take them to the golf course. If they want to go to the bikini bar, I'll take them to the bikini bar. It's money business.
It was not your normal classy bikini bar. I mean, it was just dirt, scum.
She had numerous friends that she would call and say, well, if I need help, I can go to see Rich Dude and he'll give me money and this and that. She's a gold digger.
I am I'm a woman who has a big heart, and I do not use men for money.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't come with receipts or check stubs. And I just wasn't prepared.
It's a big learning experience for me, and I hope to hell I never meet a guy like him ever again.
He totaled her car.
Don't you think you're responsible for paying?
No, ma'am.
Now he's totally avoiding the bill.
He didn't sign any kind of contract saying that I was going to pay if I crashed the car.
You're going to break it down, right?
What makes you think you have to sign a contract,
That's what I believe.
Do you believe that the earth is flat or round?
Judge Judy.
I can see we're dealing. Okay, were you friends before this sublet?
Yes.
How long was your lease?
My lease started March 27, 2003, and it ended April 30th of 2004.
And when did you sublet the apartment to Miss Carlson?
October 1st of 2003.
And did you sign a written document with her of sublet?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it?
Notarized.
So I gather what you wanted, Ms. Carlson, was once this sublet was over, because this agreement is a lease.
Yeah.
And it is a lease for you to live there until the end of her lease.
Yes.
Unless, of course, you could get the lease put in your name, which is, I assume, what you wanted.
Yeah.
So that you would be the primary tenant.
Yes, of course.
That never happened.
No.
Well, you were late in your rent in March. What was the rent?
$520.
Why were you late?
I had to work, so I didn't pay rent. I was like a couple days late. I went to the office. I told them.
No. I don't know what that means. I mean, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Do your parents buy this baloney when you ask a question, you get double talk? I said, why did you pay rent? And you said, because I have to work.
I didn't. I was late.
And so there was no reason. Okay. How late were you? Couple of days. Couple of days is 2. Are we talking about March 2nd?
Rent was due from the 1st to the 5th. I went up to the office around the 13th.
Okay. So that you weren't a couple of days late, you were 2 weeks late in the rent. It's due on the 1st. You have a grace period until the 5th, but you didn't bother to show up until the 13th. Why?
I was working.
Everybody works.
I was doing doubles. It was a month time that employees had to work double shifts.
Sounds to me if you're working double shifts, you're making twice as much money.
Yeah, but we worked like to all hours of the night. I would come home at like 5 in the morning, and I would have to leave at 9 to get to work by like 10:30.
All you have to do is put your check in an envelope, my dear. So you're working double shifts means you're making a lot of money. Should have had money to pay your rent. $500. There's no excuse.
I understand that.
Okay. Oh, fine. So that you breached your lease.
Yeah.
And you got a call, I gather, and as a result of that call, you changed the locks on the apartment. When did you change the locks on the apartment?
I got a call around the 11th. And I tried calling Tricia several times. I left messages. I said, I want to know what's going on. Do you need me to help you? She never returned my phone call, never paid the rent. So then I went in and I changed the locks and I left her a message. I said, look, I changed the locks. Either please go pay the rent with the late fee or, you know, get a U-Haul, move out. I did give her about 3 days. Okay. That was my last resort.
Fine. So you want her to pay the rent that she owes for March, $520, and the rent that she owes for April.
And a late fee of $37.65 or something.
Okay. Now, you also wanted to pay for some damage. What kind of damage?
Well, I had a pet when I lived there. I paid a deposit, and he did cause some damage. I do have a bill here of what I paid out of my pocket. I don't expect the whole deposit back, but she did get a dog without my permission, a puppy.
Then let's not play. Okay.
Well, you know, the damage is people vandalized the door. They stuck condoms all over the door, and they sprayed it with a fire extinguisher. She had a little ashtray outside the door. Plus, when she left, there were cigarette burns in the carpet, and I had to clean the entire apartment. And out of the $200, they charged me $140.
Okay, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not the 2 months' rent that you want, which is $1,040. Okay. So now you have a counterclaim. I'll hear you.
Can I speak on what she's referring to of damages and stuff?
If you want to. I'm not really seriously
I was
considering
dog sitting. The dog stayed in a crate. Didn't go out whatsoever. Took it to doggy daycare so that I knew it would be in safe hands when I was at work. So it didn't do as much as damages than she expected.
She's not talking about a lot of money.
Okay, I understand that. But the condoms and the fire extinguisher blown in the door were under resort of her friends. She had an ex-boyfriend would come over late night. They would knock on the door. Came in one time, woke me up because he's...
I'm not considering damages to the door. I'm not, quite frankly, interested in condoms on the door and writing on the door. I'm not interested. We're talking about $100. She's going to deal with it. She wants $1,040 for the months of March and April, and you want her to pay you $700-800 because she wrongfully evicted you. So let me hear your case.
Countersuing for lost wages.
What lost
wages of when she made me move out. I had received a call at work. I have the time cards. I have a statement. Everything that day, she said, you have to leave. I went up to the office on the 13th to tell them that I'm moving out. I'm willing to pay rent and stuff. They called her to let her know. She freaked out, changed locks on me, called me at my work on my cell phone, told me that you better get your crap out. You will have 15 minutes and police supervision. So I freaked out. I have to go get my stuff. This is the stuff I've been earning since I was 17. So I'm not going to let it be gone. I'm not going to let it disappear.
I absolutely agree with you.
Your Honor.
Shh.
Sorry. So, and that's lost wages, punitive damages, and emotional distress. I've known this girl forever. Known her for a long time. She put me through a lot of stuff. I'm a great friend, okay? I will be there for you any time of the week, any day of the month, whatever. She would call me certain occasions and just stress me out, freak me out.
Shh, listen to me. I'm not your therapist.
Oh, I understand that.
I'm not your therapist. I want to know what your counterclaim is for. You can't tell me it's for emotional distress because I'm a better friend than she is. We don't maintain a whole judicial system to hear that kind of nonsense.
I understand.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had to pay people to let me live in their house because I was living on the streets.
Where does your family live?
Probably about a half an hour to an hour away.
Don't they like you?
And later today,
I want to see what a good pupil you have become over the last 20 years that we've known each other. So ask him a question.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Gajowski says former tenant Patricia Carlson owes for rent and damage to her apartment. Patricia says Nikki kicked her out, so she's not paying.
So tell me what you want.
I want money back from moving abruptly, going to get a U-Haul to move my stuff. I had to pay some people to move. I had to pay people to let me live in their house because I was living on the streets. You know, I didn't know where to go.
Where does your family live?
Probably about a half an hour to an hour away.
Don't they like you?
We get along once in a while.
So temporarily, instead of living in the street, why couldn't you go and live with your family?
Because my car, it's not that mobile. I have to go back to work, and I don't want to go back to work an
So
hour
are
and
you
a half.
living at the street right near your job?
Do what now?
Were you living in the street right
No.
near your job?
No.
You picked another street?
No, I had to inconvenience another friend to let me move in.
You said you were living in the street.
So basically, I could have been living on the street.
No, that's not what you said. You said I was living on the street. I just wanted to know which street you were living on, or whether I was getting high theater here. Listen, you did the wrong thing. You sublet an apartment and you blew off your rent. And she tried to call you a couple of times and you didn't respond to her call because you were very busy working 2 shifts and you didn't have time to take a check, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and put it in the mailbox. Wrong. Grow up. Be a big girl. You signed a lease. Your lease was to pay the rent at the appropriate time. You didn't do that. She may have been a little overzealous when she said, listen, you got to get your stuff out of there in 15 minutes, if that's in fact what she said. Bottom line is, she wasn't going to support you while you were paying rent. That's unreasonable. Pay the money you owe it, $1,040. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim's dismissed.
Pardon, excuse me, step out.
She became vain.
I don't know what she's talking about being vain.
Her just being totally into herself.
You know, I'm not all about that stuff.
Don't care about other people other than her.
This is a girl that needs to grow up.
And I couldn't do that.
Get a life.
I don't know, I'm not going to be into that drama anymore.
And quit living the trashy life that she's living.
Vain as hell.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lamb versus Cobbs. Step forward, please.
19-year-old student Karen Lamb is suing her boyfriend's ex-roommate, 18-year-old electrical apprentice James Cobbs III, for totaling her car. James is countersuing for defamation of character.
Miss Lamb, the defendant borrowed your car, had an accident. You want him to pay the deductible that cost you to have the car fixed. That was $1,000. And Mr. Cobbs, while he does not specifically address the accident, he is counterclaiming because he said when he got to the police station, you were there and you were bad-mouthing him to his boss. So he is counterclaiming for slander and defamation of his otherwise perfect character.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know him?
He's my boyfriend's ex-roommate.
Boyfriend?
Yes.
Ex-roommate?
Yes.
And when did he borrow your car?
February 21st. It was a Saturday morning.
What time did he borrow the car?
Around 8 a.m.
Why?
He wanted to go out to Walmart to buy breakfast food because his girlfriend was going to make us breakfast.
So you gave him the keys. What happened?
I was coming into Walmart, and I was taking a turn. The car skidded on the wet pavement, and I hit into the guardrail.
Were you going fast?
Speed limit, probably 55, 60.
But if you were making a turn, you usually slow down.
I did slow down, but obviously not enough.
So it was your fault? Mm-hmm. Well, if it was your fault, don't you think you're responsible for paying the deductible, so she shouldn't be out of any money?
No, ma'am.
Well, now we're interested. So you had an accident. But it was your fault. So you explain to me why she should be out the $1,000 instead of you.
I believe I don't owe her the money because we didn't sign any kind of contract saying that I was going to pay her deductible if I crashed her car. You know, we didn't agree to that, none of that. And $1,000 deductible is just, to me, it's ridiculous.
You're going to break it down, aren't you?
What?
You're going to break it down, right? I just want to see this.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I want to see what a good pupil you have become over the last 20 years that we've known each other. Okay? Why don't you ask him the question? See? Ask him the question.
If you crashed a car and it's your fault and you admit that it's your fault, once again, why should she be out of $1,000 for your mistake?
Because she, after the accident, she just continued to disrespect me all the time. You know, when I was at the police station, got arrested, I went to.
We're not getting to that yet. Forget what
that.
happened at the police station. He asked a question. It's a perfect question. I couldn't have posed the question better myself.
I already told you. I don't think that I owe the money because I didn't sign no contract with her.
You don't have to sign a contract. What makes you think you have to sign a contract, Mr. Cobbs?
That's what I believe.
Do you believe that the earth is flat or round?
No, I think it's round, though.
Good, and you're right. But just because you believe that something is true doesn't make it so if it's not the law. Let me ask you this question, okay, because I can see we're dealing with... You're driving the car down the street, and you're going a little too fast, and you hit a lady who's crossing the street, and you break both of her legs, and her medical bills are $50,000, and she has no insurance. Got it so far? You following me? And you never signed a contract with her that if you hit her, you would pay her medical bills. Do we understand each other?
Yeah.
Who do you think would be responsible for her medical bills, you or her?
Me.
Good. And why would that be, even though you didn't have a written contract?
Broke her legs. Of course I have to pay for the hospital.
You broke her car.
Yeah, but she already got paid. They totaled the car.
No, she didn't already get paid, sir. She was out $1,000. They took $1,000 off of what they paid her because she has insurance with $1,000 deductible. So she's out $1,000.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He told his boss, well, you shouldn't get him out because you're saying he has weapons at home. She's scared when he gets out that he's going to do something to her, he's going to harm her.
Did she say what kind of weapons he had at home?
She said he had a fishing knife.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Karen Lamb says her boyfriend's ex-roommate, James Cobbs III, owes for totaling her car. James says Karen badmouthed him to his boss, so he shouldn't have to pay.
So now let's get to what happened that caused you all of a sudden to be not responsible.
All right, well, the following Monday, I went to, I actually picked up a copy of the police report, and we brought it back to the house, and Karen and I filled it out. So after we filled it out, I agreed to go make a copy of it for her at the police station for her and her insurance company. When I got to the police station to make the copy of the report, they told me that I had a prior warrant in Brockton for another court fee, and they arrested me.
For another what?
A court fee.
So what happened when they told you that they had the warrant issued for you?
They arrested me.
That's what they do when there's a warrant. Let's hear the rest of it.
So after I got arrested, I started to make phone calls to make sure that I could get my bail money. I called my boss to inform them that if I didn't get out of jail that night, that I wasn't going to be at work the next day, so I didn't lose my job. I'm an electrical apprentice. I have a professional career, so I don't need to be playing around with work. So my boss agreed to come and pay the bail. He told my roommate, one of my other roommates, that he was going to come and pay the bail.
Okay, go ahead.
So when he arrived at the police station, Karen was there, and when he got out the car, he was conversing with my cousin, he and his wife, and then Karen approached him and began to just ask him questions.
Okay, now you weren't there when this happened.
No, I was in the cell.
But you were?
Yes.
So step up here. And your name is?
Justin Coward.
And you were there on the 23rd, something like that, of February?
Yes.
And you were outside the police station?
Yes.
What brought you to the police station that day?
Well, I got a call saying that he was in jail for whatever reason he was there for. So I came, and when I got there, she was there too. We was all there, you know what I'm saying? But she told his boss, well, you shouldn't get him out because he's bad. She's saying he has weapons at home. She's scared when he gets out that he's going to do something to her, he's going to harm her. which is not his whole
Did she
personality.
say what kind of weapons he had at home?
She said he had a fishing knife.
So he said he had a fishing knife at home.
Yeah, she said that he was going to hurt her or something. She thinks he's going to hurt him.
That's the way she felt, right?
Yes.
You can have a seat.
Thank
you. Did you have a discussion with his boss?
Yes, I did.
What did you tell his boss?
His boss pulled up and said, "Are you here to bail out James?" He said, "Yeah, why? Did you already do it?" I go, "No, I'm not bailing him out." And he said, "Why should I not bail him out?" I go, "You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying I'm not bailing him out." And he probably asked why. I don't really remember this too well, but I know I probably did say that he did have a knife at home. He did have a knife. I know I didn't say it was a fishing knife. I know nothing about knives. I have no idea what kind of knife it was, so I wouldn't have said a fishing knife. And I said, yeah, I didn't want him home because I had to return there to get my stuff. I was going back to school at night. I didn't want James to come home while I was still there.
Because he thought he might be angry that because of you sending him to the police station, he got arrested on a warrant, and you thought he might think it was your fault. You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? After the accident, according to this police report, the airbags deployed. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
After you had the accident, you went directly home? Afterwards, where did he go?
He went to Stop and Shop because Walmart didn't have the breakfast food. He got the breakfast food at Stop and Shop, and then he went to a liquor store to buy a pack of cigarettes, and then he brought the car back.
That sound right?
No. I might have went to Stop and Shop, but I didn't go to no liquor store.
Yeah,
And then I
just
came
had an
home.
accident, sir. You totaled out her car.
But it's not like I got out the car limping. I broke my neck. I could still drive. I wasn't going to walk home.
Almost makes you wonder whether to invest in U.S. bonds. You had an accident. You were driving too fast. You weren't calculating the road conditions and your speed. It cost her $1,000. You are responsible for that. The fact that she indicated to your boss that she would not bail you out, that she was afraid of what would happen because you got yourself arrested and were incarcerated as a result, really, of this accident and your own prior irresponsibility, and she told your boss the truth about you having a knife at home, that is not slander, sir. That's the truth. And that's how she felt, and she's allowed to express that. That doesn't diminish your responsibility. You owe her $1,000. Judgment for the plaintiff and your counterclaim is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He did owe me $1,000.
She lost $1,000.
My car was totaled, so.
Because I probably want it back, too.
He said he was going to pay, and I guess he felt that I disrespected him.
There's no disrespect, you know what I'm saying?
So he didn't want to pay anymore, so I had to go to court.